The Biden administration has put forward their financial bill, so don't be astonished when Wall Street's attention turns to the market's best infrastructure stocks in the coming months. Welcome to our channel, Financial Insights, the place where you are always a little bit smarter and wiser after seeing one of our valuable videos so you can develop your financial knowledge. Don't forget to press the like button and subscribe to our channel so we can make even more financial content. The real infrastructure needs billions upon billions of dollars, a total of $2.25 trillion, with a significant amount of money going to EV incentives, tax credits, solar incentives, incentives for building up to 500,000 charging stations, electrifying the federal fleet of vehicles, and electrifying school buses. So, let us outline which stocks you might want to look into. M1 Finance. So, we can get started. The first method is, of course, electric vehicle chargers. Here's the thing, when it comes to electric vehicle chargers, many of them are currently subpar, and we believe that purchasing a basket of chargers is the best option. So think of it as an index funder, an exchange-traded fund that only invests in charging firms. You could use M1 Finance now, but they don't allow you to bring any kind of charging stock that's available in here. However, we believe this has a lot of space to expand, owing to the fact that many of these names have been sold off from their highs. Some people, such as ChargePoint, may have felt euphoria, particularly with the SPE switchback. Plug. Following that, we have Plug. If you want to swing trade it or social trade it, there is a good chance that there will be a big rotation out of this stock in the near future. And by the near term, we mean over the next year, which means that if you intend on buying and keeping this business, you should be prepared for a QUANTUMSCAPE style slap, where we get an insane run-up and then an insane drop-off. However, in terms of valuation, it has a lot of optimism built into it right now. Today, Plug Power is down more than 55% since then. This is not to suggest that Plug is a bad stock, but it trades at a reasonably high multiple. But there is one thing that Joe Biden said that is extremely powerful. Hydrogen. Joe Biden said that he wants to lead America's future energy efforts toward electrification of cars and the use of hydrogen. And the fact that he mentioned hydrogen in his 15-year plan prompted stocks such as fuel cells and Plug to respond immediately. Both of them increased by about 2 to 3% after hours, which is not a massive increase, but they both reacted to Joe Biden suggesting hydrogen. This is due to the fact that they both deal with hydrogen-related materials. IDEX. IDEX is another one that's worth a look. So IDEXi not only acquires a business, but also a system in wireless vehicle charging. A simple bus might simply drive over a charging pad, park for a few moments, and continue on its way. They're looking into all-electric tractors, or what others refer to as the John Deere of electric mopeds. They have low-cost, new energy commercial vehicles, as well as a new range of zero-emission heavy trucks and buses. You should keep IDEX in mind. QUANTUMSCAPE. QUANTUMSCAPE is the next stock up. So QUANTUMSCAPE is a laboratory that designs, engineers, and researches solid-state batteries. Solid-state batteries would be extremely common in applications other than automobiles. Batteries that are lighter in weight will charge faster, travel further, and have longer lifespans. However, solid-state batteries can be extremely useful in aviation. When people learn that Biden's proposal would invest hundreds of billions of dollars in research and development for battery production, they get excited about QUANTUMSCAPE, which is one of the biggest battery play right now. MP Materials. Okay, so we get components for batteries, which is where companies like MP Materials have gained a lot of popularity. The stock has been selling off in the last week, which might provide an opportunity to invest in something like MP Materials at a much lower cost. As a result, MP Materials may be a possible source of components such as lithium. Manufacturing. Next, in Joe Biden's investment plan, it states that $50 billion will be spent to establish a new office to track domestic manufacturing capabilities at the Department of Commerce. So, do you think that means Joe Biden is going to have an office full of people reporting back to work today? Manufacturers could be asked by the government to provide details on how many months of supply they have for some goods, as well as their supply chains or products, so that the government can keep an eye on any shortages or other problems. And it's basically a win-win situation because the government can warn companies that a chip shortage is possible in the next 2 months. Businesses can better plan, making the country more competitive. However, companies such as Toyota may want to send the data to Ford because this is a way for the US government to try to compile US manufacturing data and draw conclusions to give back to manufacturers. That is, in principle, the job of the government. The most important challenges that manufacturers face around the value chain are fundamentally data challenges, supply chain sourcing, quality control reliability, rapid troubleshooting, and demand forecasting, all of which rely on an accurate and up-to-date landscape. So, where do you think you'll get this up-to-date information? And who is capable of compiling all of this? So, how about the largest corporation in the United States, which is already using Palantir? The ideal solution for the government's new office is an analytical environment in which users can track and respond to production line disturbances. In phase. Following that is the end phase. Do not be blind to the true promise of the end phase. Tesla pales in comparison to end phase consistency. End phase makes very high quality microinverters that can individually track and control solar panels. They do not manufacture solar panels, but they do manufacture extremely high quality microinverters that can track and power solar panels. Biden was instrumental in including a provision of one of the most recent stimulus packages that allocated a large sum of money for the government to research vehicle-to-grid and grid-to-house charging, as well as these battery storage devices where you could use the battery from your car or the battery from a whole house battery to help support future grid stress and avoid what happened in Texas. Enphase has to be on the radar because they have crazy high margins and super high quality goods. Definitely a business that is expanding like a weed. As a result, don't overlook the endpoint. NGA. Okay, we've got NGA. NGA is going to race all the way up to 20 and beyond. Right now, it's heavily oversold and appears to rubber band up to $20. NGA is a maker of hybrid commercial vehicles. However, as Biden has specifically said, their advertising is well known for this as well. Joe Biden has mentioned electrifying school buses, which we would love to see happen. Lion Electric. However, Lion Electric is one to keep an eye on. Lion Electric receives its biggest EV truck order to date, Lion 100, Lion 6, and Lion 8 trucks for Pride Community Enterprises to be shipped in 2021-2022. 100 all-electric vehicles. That's fantastic news, as we remember the company previously announcing a contract for 50 trucks for a Canadian National Railway and 60 electric school buses. Isn't that a great precedent? It seems that Canada is attempting to outdo us in terms of electric vehicles. Lion Electric has sold over 300 electric vehicles in North America to date, and its manufacturing facility in Canada has a capacity of approximately 2,500 vehicles per year. The company plans to establish its own battery pack manufacturing plant in Quebec soon. Let's see how the Pride Party is changing the image of the trucking industry. Pride Business Company, a trucking conglomerate, has recently established a dealership to sell trucks, and they are purchasing 100 electric vehicles from Lion Electric to resell as part of their dealership network. Lion Electric is one that you should pay special attention to because of the Biden administration. Voyager Digital. The following one we'll discuss is Voyager Interactive. The electrification of America has little to do with Voyager Digital. It's a cryptocurrency broker, which basically means that they pay you interest on your cryptocurrency. So, why are we discussing Voyager Digital stock as a potential stock collection to consider? Well, Voyager Digital profits from fluctuations in cryptocurrency prices and pays you a decent amount of interest on your cryptocurrency. However, there is definitely a danger involved. Voyager Digital is intriguing because many people assume that with such a large bundle, there would be a lot of uncertainty in the price of items like Bitcoin. Workhorse. Now, let's look at one that you might not notice. We are worried about Workhorse because the Biden administration completely dismantled them, and gave their USPS, including electrifying the USPS fleet contract, to Oshkosh, which means they're going to do some electric cars and the rest will be gas cars for the USPS or maybe hybrids. When a contract is signed, it is almost difficult to have it revoked. It also sets a poor precedent for the country to cancel a contract and award it to someone else. Alright folks, that's all we have time for today. Type stocks in the comments below if you are going to buy new stocks. Thank you for watching, follow us on Instagram, and make sure to subscribe and check us out on our other valuable videos. See you soon at Financial Insights.